The world never truly sleeps, even in the silence of night. There's always motion, screens glowing, minds racing, hearts restless. People wake up already chasing something they can't name. Success, approval, safety, all moving targets. The noise doesn't come from outside alone. It lives in their heads. It whispers, "You're behind. You're not enough. Keep moving." Every day feels like a battlefield, not with swords, but with thoughts. Deadlines, opinions, expectations, they press down like invisible armor. Everyone wants control of their time, their image, their destiny. But the harder they fight to control the world, the more the world slips through their fingers. And in the middle of it all, peace becomes the rarest treasure of all. The Stoics lived in a world no less chaotic than ours. Wars, corruption, loss, betrayal. But somehow they found stillness where others found madness. They didn't wait for calm to appear after the storm. They built it inside themselves while the thunder still raged. They understood something most people never realize. Chaos is not the enemy. The reaction to it is. Imagine a sea in a violent storm, waves crashing, winds howling, lightning tearing through the sky. Most people try to stop the storm, to fight the waves. But the Stoic simply learns to breathe beneath them. He doesn't escape the storm. He becomes the calm beneath it. Because he knows that real control begins when the need for control ends. That's where the secret begins. Not in changing the world, but in mastering the self. When the noise outside no longer disturbs the silence within, the world may still burn, but you will no longer burn with it. The greatest myth humans ever believed is that they control the world around them. They plan, predict, calculate, and convince themselves that life will obey their maps. But life has its own rhythm, a rhythm that doesn't ask for permission. It moves how it wants, when it wants, and takes what it needs. And the more a person tries to fight that rhythm, the louder their suffering becomes. The Stoics understood this long before modern minds began to crumble under the weight of what-ifs. They saw that control is a beautiful illusion, a comfort, not a truth. You can't control the storm, the people, the outcomes, or even your own body forever. But what you can control, and what they devoted their lives to, is your perception, your judgment and your response. That small, quiet space between what happens and how you react, that's where freedom lives. Most people lose themselves in that space. They react before they breathe. They rage before they think. They panic before they understand. But the Stoic pauses. He observes. He lets the moment pass through him before he chooses his next move. Because he knows every reaction is a choice, and every choice is a reflection of who he truly is. Control, to the Stoic, isn't about changing the world. It's about refusing to be changed by it. They don't run from failure. They learn from it. They don't fight uncertainty. They walk beside it. And in doing so, they find something stronger than control. They find clarity. When you stop trying to make life obey you, you start to flow with it. You begin to realize that peace was never about holding on tighter. It was about letting go completely. Because only in surrender do you find real power. And only when you stop demanding certainty do you finally become free. The storm doesn't wait for your permission. It arrives sudden, loud, merciless. It tears through plans, destroys comfort, and laughs at certainty. Most people panic when it comes. They fight, they run, they break. But the Stoics, they don't resist the storm. They enter it. Because they know the truth. Peace isn't found in the absence of storms, but in the presence of clarity. Calm for them is not a gift. It's a discipline, a daily practice of returning to the center, no matter how far the world pulls you away. The Stoic breathes deeply as chaos screams around him. He watches but doesn't absorb. He feels but doesn't drown. He knows he cannot change the storm, but he can change the way he stands inside it. That's what makes him unshakable. When the wind rises, most minds scatter, thoughts spiral, fears grow, and the soul collapses under the noise. But the Stoic has trained his mind to return, again and again, to what is real. This moment, this breath, this heartbeat, the world may rage, but he stays anchored in the present. That's not indifference. That's mastery. This calm is not emptiness, it's power in its purest form. It's the power of choice. The choice to remain still when others lose themselves. The choice to observe instead of react. The choice to find peace not because the storm is over, but because your soul no longer depends on its silence. And as the chaos continues to roar, something strange happens. It loses its hold. The Stoic doesn't silence the world, he silences himself. And in doing so, he finds that the world was never loud. It was his mind that made it so. True calm isn't what you find after the storm. It's what you become during it. The Stoic does not fight against the river of life. He learns to flow with it. He knows that resistance to what is creates more pain than the event itself. Most people battle reality. They spend their days arguing with what has already happened, wishing the past would change, or fearing the future before it even arrives. The Stoic sees that struggle for what it is, a war against the unchangeable. And in that moment of awareness, he chooses peace over control. To surrender in the Stoic sense is not defeat. It's alignment. It's the decision to say, this is happening, and I will walk with it. The Stoics called it amor fati, the love of one's fate. Not just accepting life, but embracing it fully, even the parts that hurt. Because pain, loss, and chaos are not enemies. They are teachers. Each one shapes the mind, refines the soul, and brings a person closer to truth. It takes courage to love what doesn't go your way, to thank the storm for coming, to bow to fate and whisper, I trust you. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. The Stoic doesn't seek to rewrite destiny. He seeks to understand his place within it. He doesn't run from suffering. He studies it. And through that awareness, the unbearable becomes bearable. When the Stoic stops resisting, he discovers a different kind of power, one that doesn't shout, doesn't fight, doesn't demand, a power that comes from unity with life itself. The wind still blows, the waves still rise, but now they move through him, not against him. And in that stillness, he feels something sacred, a quiet connection to everything. Amor fati, to love one's fate, is not a philosophy. It's a way of living, a way of saying yes to the universe, even when it breaks you. Because the Stoic knows that life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. Every loss, every storm, every silence is another step toward becoming whole. The storm passes, as all storms do. The air grows quiet again, but the world hasn't changed. Only he has. The same noise still exists. The same people still shout. The same world still spins out of control. But now it feels different. The chaos no longer reaches him the way it used to. It moves around him, through him, but never into him. The Stoic has discovered something. The rest of the world spends its whole life searching for peace that cannot be stolen. He walks among others, not as someone above them, but as someone who has remembered what they have forgotten. People mistake his calm for coldness, his silence for distance. But inside there is warmth, the warmth of acceptance, of knowing that nothing needs to be different for him to be at peace. The battle is no longer out there. It never was. The real battlefield was the mind, and he has finally laid his weapon down. He watches life unfold in the laughter, the pain, the gains, the losses, and he smiles. Not because it's easy, but because he understands now. Everything belongs. Every event, every emotion, every ending, all pieces of the same divine order. What once felt like chaos now feels like rhythm. The world didn't need to slow down. His heart just needed to stop fighting it. This is the Stoic's final lesson. Strength was never about being unbreakable. It was about being open, to let the world in without letting it destroy you, to love without fear, to lose without despair, to fall without bitterness. The Stoic does not escape the human experience. He embraces it, completely, consciously, calmly. And so he stands beneath the same sky where he once fought his storms. The wind still howls, the clouds still move, but his soul no longer does. In that stillness, he understands the secret that few ever grasp. You don't control the chaos, you become calm within it. Because peace isn't found when the world grows quiet. It's found the moment you do.